Hello, everybody, and welcome back to What If Tarn and the DJD were in TF Prime. Now, let's not waste any more time, and let's get started on the penultimate, aka Part 3. We continue off with the events of Stronger, Faster. The beginning of the episode plays relatively the same, as while they have the complete formula, Ratchet is still having to do this on his own, and they do have more energon in canon, so there is less of a warrant to create the synthetic formula, but Ratchet would still take the early sample, as the DJD still pose a big threat. So he wants to test this as soon as he can, so they can get the advantage. When Team Prime chases the cons for the Energon, they are chasing Kaon and Helix, with the two DGD members transforming, but then they would be joined as a ground bridge opens, and Tarn with the pet arrives. Tarn and Optimus having a brief conversation, as Tarn proclaims that the retribution of Megatron is 9. So the bots in the DJD fight. Breakdown fights Helix, Bulkhead fights Kaon, and the pet, while Optimus fights Tarn. The DJD are more than enough for them, but before Helix can take Breakdown's name off the list, a ground bridge opens and Ratchet comes in. With him on the synthetic energon, he actually manages to beat them, as he's too fast and agile for them, especially Helix. Kaon and the pet try to put up a fight, but they are also having to deal with Bulkhead and then Breakdown, who gets up, and the two of them helped Ratchet take them down. Tarn tries to fight Ratchet, with him actually getting some good hits on him, but Optimus jumps in and he is relentless on Tarn, with Ratchet doing the same. But before they can do more, a ground bridge opens beneath Tarn and the other members, with them escaping thanks to Soundwave. Tarn, of course, doesn't like that, but even he has his respects for the Quiet Mute. The Autobots would actually manage to grab the Energon here since the cons left it behind, and at base, Ratchet explains what happened. With the others happy about it, except Primus, he says he went into a fight without knowing what could have happened, and how they have to be careful. With Ratchet getting past his machoism, and he does agree a little bit. The training with Bulkhead goes the same, but after Bulkhead gets thrown through the wall, he goes to where Ratchet has his sample, the synthetic energon, and in his spark, he knows he has to do this. So Bulkhead takes the dosage, with him feeling more powerful. And as for why Ratchet doesn't go to take the sample, it's because of Optimus's talk with him. So he does calm down a bit. So this is why Bulkhead is able to take the sample. When the next mission comes, Ratchet, of course, isn't as wild, so stays relatively calm during it. But when a Decepticon miner tries to get away, Bulkhead shoots him, killing the con. Optimus reprimands him, but Bulkhead goes into a tirade about how they need to be more vicious now the DJD is here. And if they were like this before, then RC and Bumblebee would be here, and they wouldn't have to rely on cons for support. Does that make you break down angry, but also sad as he thinks about his failure and how maybe he really is still just a con in their eyes? Optimus decides to have Bulkhead stay at base until he calms down, to which Ratchet actually makes him return to base, with Optimus worried about this. But due to this, the rest of the episode is skipped, so the Autobots still have some energon supply issues after this event. However, soon the Earth starts experiencing weird weather storms, and then an eruption occurs with dark energon spilling out. Now, this all happens first with the volcano erupting, as since Megatron is dead, the Decepticons don't have a leader who is trying to bring the end of the world and fulfill the prophecy. However, due to these weather events and the prophecy, the Autobots realize Earth is Unicron. Meanwhile, the cons would worry about what's going on, to which Tarn has a team retrieve some of the dark energon that erupted from the volcano. With him looking at it, and he realizes that this power is one of the only things he has left of Megatron. So he decides to stab a shard into himself, with him having the same experience as Megatron, with him even seeing visions of Unicron. Since his rising is near, he is able to see them as soon as he puts the shard in. Later, Optimus would investigate the same area that he would fight the Unicron avatars, with Team Prime coming to his aid. And despite the fact that they are down a member, due to Bulkhead still being on synthetic energon, he wrecks right through them, and Breakdown also fires his shoulder rockets at them. And of course, they have another tank with him there. But when the big Unicron arrives and all hope seems lost, the team is given aid as a ship arrives, opening fire. to which it is revealed to be Wheeljack's ship, as Optimus had sent a message for support since the DJD's arrival, to which Wheeljack has came to aid. Wheeljack's help allows the team to recover, as he says that before he arrived, he actually got in contact with Sea Spray, so hopefully he will be on his way soon. However, the Unicron threat still lingers, so after some more fighting, the Autobots retreat from the giant, with them unaware of how to combat Unicron, until Ratchet receives a surprise message from Tarn. Optimus is cautious, but him and his team meet Tarn. Tarn explains how he's seen everything about Unicron and proposes a temporary truce to stop him. The team is absolutely against it, with even Optimus on his wits about agreeing, but he sees no other way, so he agrees. Tarn says for them to meet at their base, to which later Tarn arrives at Outpost Omegalon, with everyone on edge, especially Bulkhead and Breakdown. Since Bulkhead is still on the synthetic energon, he is itching to start a fight, and Breakdown is worried since he is a traitor, so if anyone's going to be killed first, it will be him, and he knows it will not be swift and quick. After some time, Tarn would give the coordinates to the core of the planet, and while that happens, Optimus would actually give the key to Vector Sigma to Ratchet, as since Jack isn't here, there is no human in the group that he feels should have it, other than his old friend. Then, the group with Tarn set off. The mission in the core goes relatively the same, but something does help since Bulkhead is on synthetic energon. It actually helps him not get affected by the dark energon sickness, as it is able to put up a wall against its nauseous effects. Of course, they would end up fighting the Unicron antibodies, to which Tard and Optimus head inside of the core, with that scene all going the same as in canon. However, when Optimus is revealed to be Orion Pax and not Optimus anymore, Tard looks to him and remembers his time in the past, as we see a flashback in the Iacon Hall of Records, with him as Glitch and him and Orion as old friends. But then, the figure of Megatronus, aka Megatron, rises over him as he feels a sense of awe for the gladiator, with that young Glitch turning into the psychonic Tarn. Back in the present, Tarn, after looking at Orion, points his cannon at him and says goodbye. Then he fires, killing Orion slash Optimus Prime. When the others enter, they see this with Bulkhead in rage, and he gives in, going right towards him, and he tries to jump on him, but Karn fires another shot and another one, and starts to manhandle Bulkhead. Then the ground bridge opens, and the rest of DJD emerge, with Breakdown calling Ratchet for a ground bridge, to which he opens one, but it's too late for Bulkhead, as he is beaten up by the DJD and killed by Helix. Wheeljack and Breakdown would return to base saddened, with Wheeljack especially pissed off about what happened to Bulkhead. However, there is no hope in this situation, as even though Ratchet has the key to Vector Sigma, it is pointless, as Optimus is dead. We then cut to the Nemesis, with Tarn going into the main room as he brings the body of Optimus Prime, to which all the Decepticons celebrate. But Tarn says they're not finished, and they will take care of the rest of the Autobots soon. But as of now, Optimus Prime is no more. And that is where I'm going to end the penultimate at. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I can't wait because next time we get to the finale, I hope you're going to like it when it comes out. Anyways, until next time, good day.